was more important than drinking water, man.
Listen to all the, I ain't gonna call y'all sissies, but that's what the society.
Fleece Johnson, also known as the Booty Warrior, was a prisoner in the Kentucky Penitentiary. He was taken into custody for an armed robbery case in the 1970s. As a prisoner, he was a sexual predator and is known to rape many of his co-prisoners and also the prison officials. He would hunt and get down as many prison booties as possible, and that is why he was called the Booty Warrior. Fleece Johnson in the 1980s came into the limelight when he openly told how important prison booty was. He is also seen referring to the booty as a more important aspect than food and water. His approach line made news in the headlines, which goes something like, "I like you and I want you. Now, we can do this the easy way or we have to do this the hard way, the choice is yours." Fleece Johnson, popularly known as the Booty Warrior, was born in the late 1950s. He was arrested in the case of an armed robbery that took place in 1979 and was sent to the Kentucky Penitentiary, which was a high-security prison. He was initially convicted of 10 years. By the time it was late 1980s, his conviction was added to another 18 years on the charge of prison sexual involvement and also as severe as first-degree violence. As he kept becoming a sexual predator, he kept on committing severe crimes which made the prison authority keep extending his prison sentence. This time, in the early 1990s, his conviction was added to another 20 years on the charges of assaulting a prison officer, making his overall conviction tenure 48 years. By 2013, after completing about 50% of his convicted tenure, he was put on parole for a whopping 13 times and was rejected to be released based on all the sexual assaults committed. By 2015, Fleece Johnson reached the age of 57 and was again put on parole. This time, he was gauged as low risk in the risk assessment test, which made him released on parole in September 2015. In the adult cartoon, The Boondocks, Fleece Johnson's story was addressed in the 9th episode of the 3rd season, which was called A Date with the Booty Warrior. The Booty Warrior gained popularity and was known to the world after his interview from the prison got telecasted on national television, when he was seen speaking about the importance of male booty in the prison. Booty Warrior's sensational interview got him into an adult cartoon, where an episode was written around his real-life prison encounter in a more fictional manner. The episode revolves around a character named Tom who confronts his fear of prison and volunteers for a field trip to a maximum security prison as part of a program called Scared Stiff. The adult cartoon episode starts by showing footage from an untelecasted episode of the same cartoon named To Catch a Predator. The footage shows Chris Hansen, a journalist who was hosting the show To Catch a Predator, which was a sting operation conducted by the TV to find cases of pedophiles. Chris Hansen in the show is seen confronting the Booty Warrior getting into a child's house, where he is seen to say that he has no interest in kids and is not a pedophile, but instead finds him attractive and also calls him Chris Handsome. The Booty Warrior also uses his infamous catchphrase, to which Chris is taken aback. By the time Chris could react, Fleece considered this to be him opting for the hard way. He is anally raped by the Booty Warrior right in front of the camera, and the clip ends. Then comes the main characters of the story, Huey Freeman and Riley Freeman, 10 and 8-year-olds respectively. This is a fast forward to 2010, which is 5 years from when the Chris Hansen episode happens. These brothers are shown fighting as part of the punishment they are sent to attend a program being conducted at a nearby prison along with their uncle Ruckus and a couple more students. The program is called The Scared Stiff. Tom Dubious, a 40-year-old man who developed a fear of being raped in the prison at the very young age of his life after seeing a prison rape video clip, confronted his fear and was now seen volunteering the group in the prison. An unforeseen circumstance where Tom is found carrying a sharp toothbrush along with him to the prison causes an uproar in the prison, and as a result, both the children along with their uncle are captured by the prisoners as Tom escapes. Being responsible for the chaos, Tom takes initiative to get all the kids and Uncle Ruckus back from prison. In the process, he misses getting Huey and Riley back. Tom goes back to get the kids from the prison and is encountered by the Booty Warrior. who wanted to rape Tom. Tom overcomes all his fears and fights back the booty warrior. At the end, when the booty warrior is seen winning the fight and comes for Tom, he is shown slipping over a soap bar and falling. Taking this as an advantage, Tom again attacks this sexual predator and flees along with the kids to safety. After 40 years, the booty warrior is free and sharing his story. The prisoner served 40 years before being released, and he went viral in the process. MSNBC came to his prison and asked if he wanted to speak on life in prison for the show Lock Up Raw, the Convict Code. The goal of the production was to steer kids to making good choices and avoid incarceration. "I told them when I do this documentary, I ain't gonna tell them the shit their parents told them," Johnson told Hustler's Spirit in an exclusive interview published on June 22nd. "Stay out of trouble, you'll end up in prison. They done heard all that shit don't register. What I'm gonna tell you is gonna shock their conscience." Not only did it shock his target audience, it shocked America. "In this prison, booty was more important than food," Johnson said on the MSNBC show. "Booty, a man's butt, it was more important than... I'm serious. Booty, having some booty was more important than drinking water, man. When I see one and he looks good to me, when I go see him, I say, 'Hey, you, come here.' I say, 'I'm gonna tell you what, I like you and I want you. We can do this the easy way or the hard way, so the choice is yours.' And it was always a yes." 13 years later, Johnson stands on his statements. "Like I said, yeah, I like her," Johnson said in one of his latest interviews. "To me, it doesn't make any difference to me where it comes from. You get 30 years in prison and you don't care about where your booty comes from. You're tired of jacking off, you're tired of looking at magazines, you're ready to fuck something, and I was ready." He also acknowledged the Boondocks in his latest interview. "I rarely sat and watched that," Johnson said. "I watched a little bit of it, but that aggravated me because that's on my character. That's portraying me as somebody I'm not. I don't have to run up on no motherfucking asking for some booty. It's a known fact. When I was locked up, I got where I was locked up." While the show aimed to educate young viewers about making positive choices to avoid incarceration, Johnson's interview went viral, leading to widespread recognition of his criminal activities. Johnson further revealed in the interview that he discovered the Boondocks episode while awaiting parole, and after his release in 2015, he faced difficulty finding employment due to the episode's notoriety. This circumstance ultimately led to his involvement in the armed robbery that resulted in his return to prison. The notorious booty warrior Fleece Johnson is now married to a woman, but according to some sources, he is not happy as he wants a man. While the show aimed to educate young viewers about making positive choices to avoid incarceration, Johnson's interview went viral, leading to widespread recognition of his criminal activities. According to reports, he was officially released in June 2016, but his newfound freedom was cut short when he was apprehended and subsequently returned to prison. Now in 2013, 1 year after his most recent release, Johnson has given an interview to Hustler Spirit, sharing his reflections on his time behind bars. While his explicit comments and unapologetic behavior has shocked many, Fleece Johnson's interview shed light on the struggles that exist within prisons. The famous line, "See, I like you, I want you," has become the centerpiece of countless parodies. It took on a life of its own in the form of memes, remixes, and even merchandise. And with that being said, we've come to the end of this video. Thank you for joining us in this fascinating video, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with the others. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring.